men should just give in and carry purses, because we're always going to end up with spine problems from sitting on our wallets. What's up? I'm Trent Windsor, and we're here in search of the perfect shuffle. It's time for another segment of Clearing Out the Archives, where I shuffle my music, and whichever album pops up, that's the album I review, song by song. If a song is more than 50% skippable, if I would skip it more than half the time, I say get rid of it, not worth your time. If it is less than 50% skippable, if I would listen to it more than half the time, then I say it's a worthy addition for your perfect shuffle. Last week we shuffled our music, and the album that popped up was Harry Styles by Harry Styles. The end of 2015 marked the end of an era. One Direction announced that they were gonna take an extended hiatus, and on December 31st, New Year's Eve of 2015, the boy band performed together as a group for the last time. At the time of filming this, they still haven't gotten back together for any reason. I mean, obviously I was devastated, along with all the other 13-year-old girls in the world. It took a while for members of One Direction to start releasing stuff of their own. Sure, Zayn had released a solo project, but it took a year and a half until May 2017 for Harry Styles to release his debut full-length album. So this was a pretty big deal. I think One Direction fans kind of expected another One Direction album, kind of a One Direction clone, just fewer singers, but that is definitely not what Harry Styles delivered. What did fans get? Let's find out as I review this album song by song. The first song on this album is called Meet Me in the Hallway. For those who hadn't heard any of the singles off this album so far and just went in blind, this must have been a huge shock. This is a whole different style than what One Direction was putting out. The song is very haunting, it's very stripped down, it's very raw. It's just a solo guitar and Harry Styles. There's a lot of echo and reverb on his voice, but that's the only two elements in the song. The guitar is excellent, really cool and unique guitar part, not just strummed chords. I'm looking at you, Niall Horan, our town. And Harry's voice is so emotional, it makes this song really cool. It's a great start. I love the message this song sends. This is not a One Direction album, so this song I would say is 30% skippable. Song number 2 is called Sign of the Times, and this is probably the first exposure that most people had to this album. It was the big single, definitely the most well-known. This one's a lot more straightforward piano ballad. It's a nice song, there's decent vocal delivery. For me, it just got kind of boring at times. It's pretty slow, pretty one-dimensional. For some reason in this music video, he can fly, and he can also walk on water. Harry Styles is not just a musician, a magician as well. It's an okay song. I would say it's 40% skippable. Song number 3 is called Carolina. This one is super weird. It's like a quirky, somewhat funky pop tune. Oddly enough, it reminded me of the song By Myself by Fiddler. If you haven't heard that one, go check it out. It's a fun song. And Carolina incorporates some of those same elements, kind of a quirky beat, some unique instrumentation. The instrumentation includes strings, you know, some violins, some viola, some cello in there. There's a funky bass line. There's some good old-fashioned la 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 la's. There's spoons tapping on glasses. It's just like a weird combination of noises that somehow work together to form this super unique song. The beat itself is not quite fast enough to boogie to, but definitely is like a little bit of a groove. This one was really hard for me to put my finger on, hard for me to describe. So go check it out. It's unique enough that it's worth at least one listen. I would say it's 35% skippable. Song number 4 is called Two Ghosts. This one is a soulful folk ballad, maybe bordering on country. It kind of reminds me of John Mayer ballads, especially on his album Born and Raised. This song is pretty poetic. I really love the lyrics. Harry pretty much outlines the changes that a couple goes through before a breakup. It's pretty emotional. Harry Styles does a good job throughout this album of being very emotive and very personal. I would say this one is 25% skippable. Song number 5 is called Sweet Creature. This is the other semi-big single from the album, and I remember this is the song that kind of drew me in. When I initially heard it, it made me want to hear the whole album. It's a very righteous, hopeful ballad. The point of the song is, you know, despite all of their problems, they're young, they'll figure it out, and they'll grow and mature together. Once again, it's very stripped down. You just got some guitar, you got Harry's voice, you got some backup vocals. It's a beautiful song, once again, very emotional, and definitely a standout. I think with this song, Harry is really showing that he is an artist on his own, with his own style, with his own thing going on, and that's really hard to doubt when you hear this song. So I would say this one is 20% skippable. Song number 6 is called Only Angel. It starts off really slow, way slower than all the other songs, a pretty emotional instrumental type track, and then for some reason it transitions into classic rock? One of the strangest transitions I've seen in a while. Unfortunately, it's a pretty vapid and soulless rendition of a classic rock type song. It's not a terrible song, but it is just very forgettable. Thankfully though, there is cowbell. Not worth keeping around though, I would say 60% skippable. Song number 7 is called Kiwi. Here we get more classic rock, hard rock stylings, but this time it's much more catchy and far more energetic. It seems that Harry Styles is channeling more the Rolling Stones, more Mick Jagger type swagger. The main line in the chorus is, "I'm having your baby, it's none of your business." Excuse me? That seems like my business. If you're having my baby, it's my business. And you can quote me on that. Harry really goes for it on this song. He's got great energy, and it definitely takes this song to a whole nother level. I would say this song is 25% skippable. Really fun, really catchy. Song number 8 is called Ever Since New York. This is more emotional guitar pop type stuff. Harry really shows off his emotional range on this one. He's very dynamic, and he has a really nice voice, and what he does with it on this album is really awesome. He knows when to go for it. He knows when to really put the swagger into it, you know, be a little bit more smooth, and he also knows when to not try so hard and just be real and raw. And I really love how he does that on this album, and it shines through in this song specifically. It's a well-written song, very sweet melody, and it really complements Harry's voice. I also really love the harmonies they throw in there at the end. Those really make the song for me. It's not my favorite ballad on the album, but it still is pretty good. I would say it's 35% skippable. Song number 9 is called Woman. It's got this slow driving piano throughout the song, kind of like Benny and the Jets style. It's very surreal, very dreamy, kind of leans into the stylings of bedroom pop. The chorus, wow, the chorus is very creative. I have to read you these lyrics because, here are the lyrics. Woman, la 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 la. Woman, woman, la 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 la. Brings a tear to your eye, am I right? Sorry. It's got a cool vibe, feels like it takes place in a dream. The chorus obviously is not amazing, but I think it's a cool song. I would say this one is 40% skippable. Song number 10 is called From the Dining Table. This is a song full of heartbreak and sadness. It's got this amazing guitar work paired with an incredibly haunting performance from Harry himself. It seems to kind of pull the album full circle. Once again, I love the cool vocal harmonies, and the lyrics in this one are really cool, very poetic, and just hit you right in the feelings. And it really leaves a great impression as an ending for this album. This is one that I would say might be my favorite song on the album. It is 20% skippable. Mathematically, adding everything up, this album as a whole is only 26% skippable. Harry does an incredible job of setting himself apart from the One Direction identity, and he begins to create his own identity. While many of these songs are very well executed and very many of them I enjoy greatly, the one complaint I do have about the album is that it's not very cohesive. It's hard to say what kind of artist Harry is. At least we can say that he's versatile. At least we can say he's not just One Direction. I think as he continues to grow and continues to put out his own music, we'll see the development of a mature and very talented artist. And I really look forward to that. All right, let's shuffle our music and see which album I'll be reviewing next. All right, we're just gonna go into our music library here, go to albums, and hit shuffle. All right, looks like the next album I'll be reviewing is White Blood Cells by the White Stripes. If you like what I'm doing here, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notifications. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about Harry Styles, especially his solo stuff. I want to hear your opinions. I want to know what you think. I'd also love to hear if there's any albums you'd like to hear me talk about. Go ahead and let me know. Leave a comment below. I am definitely taking requests. If you want to hear the new music that I'm listening to, go ahead and check out the playlist in the description below for the best new music of August, or go to my Stationhead radio station. It is on the Stationhead app, and it is at Shuffle Perfect. It's playing at all times. So if you're the kind that doesn't like to go search for music, if you'd rather just throw on a radio station and see what pops up, go ahead and check out the most varied and weird radio station that exists. I'm Trent Windsor, and this is the Perfect Shuffle. You know. I got an itchy face.